Dashed hopes, broken dreams, tossing and turning every night, couldn't sleep, wondering why I couldn't sleep, stressed. These were some of the symptoms I was living in when I was living with alcoholism. So stressed I couldn't see a way out. I felt trapped. How could I live the rest of my life like this? I was tormented. I just didn't know where to turn, what to do, who to talk to. I just hadn't a clue. The shame and the fear of living with alcoholism had me trapped. My pride had me trapped because I didn't want to tell anybody what it was that I was actually living with. I just couldn't do it. I kept telling myself, I can't. I'll have to find a different way. But there wasn't a different way. There just wasn't a different way. And what I learned about it was, until I faced myself and my own fears, there was absolutely nothing going to change in my life. I was insecure, full of fear, poor self-image, full of anger and doubting myself every single day. If I left, what would I do? How would I cope? I'd no money, everything. The amount of times that I sat dreaming of what it would be like not to live like this. But I didn't think I deserved it behind it all, because somewhere in it I believed I must have done something really bad to deserve a life like this. I was a victim, and I made myself a victim, but I didn't know that at the time. And if you're going through something like this as well at the minute, maybe you don't know that you can have a better life. But if you're thinking like a victim, then you're going to act like a victim. So what I did was, when anybody said to me, "How are you?" I told them exactly how I was. How embarrassing. I would say when they saw me coming, people would run, because it was the same story, different day, different month, different year, and I did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Woe is me. That was my story, until one day I actually decided I couldn't do it anymore, because I knew I would be dead. Because in the house it was getting worse and worse and worse, and I was living in despair, fearful around my children. I didn't want them to live like I lived, but I just couldn't do it. This is what I kept telling myself. I can't. It's too hard. They'll come from a broken home. Holy moly, how off the wall was that? They were living in a broken home. They were actually living in a broken home, and God knows at the time what was going through their heads. But I can tell you for sure today, I know the effects it has had on them for the time that we were there. And you know what? I regret that so much. And I'm not telling you to leave your situation. I'm just telling you what it was like for me. And maybe you can identify with the feelings of insecure. And one of the other things that I used to always keep saying to myself was, but I love him. But I love him. And you know what? I had to learn to leave somebody that I loved. And I couldn't do that until I started to love me more. Because as long as I was feeling all the fear, the poor self-image, the anger, the doubt, the insecurity, all that stuff, I wasn't in the right place to make a decision. So I stayed and I got myself stronger. And until I started believing in me, I knew I couldn't change. And that was the reality. Until I started to say, you do deserve better. You absolutely do. And my children deserved better. And slowly, I went and got help. And I got out. And was it tough? Yes, it was. But it was easier than living there. For me, it was easier because I knew I was going to die. I practically did die. And sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes that's what it takes. But the dashed hopes and the broken dreams, the disappointment of believing when I was told, yeah, we'll do this and we'll go somewhere and you'll be waiting for it to happen, and it never happened. But I kept believing in that. So I was believing the lies. And I'm sure at the time he meant what he was saying. I'm sure that he did. He just never followed through. But that's his story for him to tell. This is my story for me to tell. And I'm telling my story today to encourage you to know that there is life the other side. There really is life the other side. And if I can do it, you can do it. But you have to want to. So that's my message for today. Don't live the rest of your life in torture when you know that the sun can shine again. It doesn't rain forever. And remember, diamonds are made under pressure, and you are a precious diamond. So start believing in yourself, start seeing what other people see in you, make the change, and you won't regret it. And it doesn't mean that you have to leave. It means that you start seeing you differently. And if you need the help, you know where I am. And there's lots of people around as well if I'm not the right person for you. So do it and do it for you. And I hope this has been helpful. And if it has, please share it because it might help you and it might help somebody else as well. So that's it for today. And thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you next week. Have a lovely day. And always take care of yourself, most importantly. Because if you cannot take care of yourself and start to love yourself, you'll never be able to love somebody else and you'll never be able to receive love. So that's it. Thanks, guys. Have a lovely day. Bye.